invite everyone you know, something new, something brand new, and just a different approach to how we as procurement professionals think about the way we do our job, the way other people think about our job, and then approaching things in a way that makes a difference and makes a change. We have people from all over the world joining us. We've got people here in the United States from both coasts, East Coast and West Coast, as well as in Africa, Europe, the Middle East, South America. A lot of folks. The power of technology is enabling us to get this message out to a lot of folks all over the world so that, again, we can shift the way supply chain is viewed. That's one of the more important pieces is, what we do. We know we're very credible in what we do, but it's also about how we are perceived as well as how we interact with people so that we can have those perceptions be more positive as well. Okay. So, we got about 2 minutes to go. Very good. So as in the chat room, as I'm going through, if you have questions, go ahead and just type those into the chat down to your right. I'll answer those at the end. We'll come down. I'll actually pull down my chair. We'll have a sit down. I'll show you some things on the internet, actually show you the different pieces of Rfx Academy, how it's going to work from now and into the future, get us started. And then as we're going to move month to month, getting through different offers, different ways of marketing, different ways of not only marketing, and I'll talk about this a little bit later, but while we're waiting, people kind of preview you since you showed up early, is that, yes, marketing, not only if you're going to start your own business, but marketing yourself inside your company. Recently had a conversation with someone who had been doing above and beyond what she was expected to do, saved millions and millions of dollars, and then she received her performance review, and it was like met expectations. And that's not unusual because that's what we're expected to do. However, when you look at her peers and the other things that she was doing, they were not performing to her level, doing the extra things. And, and we have to talk about that's our fault and how we perceive ourselves as well as we project ourselves to the group that's out there. So for those that are on YouTube channel, welcome. Really appreciate you being here today. Make sure you share this with your audience because it's going to be a different way to look at procurement. The way you do things day in and day out is going to make a big, big difference. Today we're here from downtown Satellite Beach, Florida, right on the coast, about 30 minutes south of Cape Canaveral, where they launched the space program. Those rockets go up in the air near SpaceX, all the other folks that are here in the space. We got several different industries right here. And this is where I chose to come after serving 20 years in the Marine Corps, which was a great career. But now we're starting our other career. And I'll talk a little bit about that story, about how I got started in procurement entrepreneurship, because it's where I came from. It's my expertise. And then I had to make it work. I had to make it work because I had a family to feed after 20 years of service, coming out into a bad economy way back in 2008, 2009, when everyone was looking for a job, as well as everyone coming out of the military. That was all having an effect, and nobody would hire me. So I had to go out and make things happen. And I made things happen in different ways. And the one thing I learned most is that marketing is key. So where you have to get out there and talk about what you do in a way that people understand and see the value of what you're doing. All right. So it's high noon, 12 noon. Welcome, everyone. My name is Randy Malden, the founder of Supply Leaders Academy, Rfx Academy, and CPSM certification training, the boot camp that some of you may have attended or some of you may want to attend. Either way, that's who I am. I had over 20 years in the Marine Corps, and since leaving the Marine Corps in 2010, I've been creating different businesses in the procurement industry, to include doing consulting, doing speaking, doing training, doing different products that people can use on a day in and day out. That's where I've gone, just doing different things. And now I'm to a point where I want to share what I've learned with you so that you can shift the way you see procurement and the way other people see you. It's all about procurement entrepreneurship. Procurement entrepreneurship is a mindset. You may already have this mindset and you just didn't know what it was called. It's an entrepreneurial mindset where if you see a need, you'll fill a need and you're proactively filling that need. That's what procurement entrepreneurship is all about. It's about taking things that should be done on a regular basis and proactively going after them, going to your boss and saying, I can save you money. Does this apply to the private field, private industry, as well as the public industry? Absolutely, both ways. Private, you generate profit. The money you save day in, day out is immediate profit to the bottom line. That company can generate that profit and they can apply that and show their shareholders. I've talked to folks where they've had supply chain projects And they articulated that project in regards to earnings per share. By doing this project, they were going to have 50 cents EPS, earnings per share, which they understood. When someone generates a sale, that generates revenue. That revenue, that sale may or may not be profitable. The only way it's profitable if we, the procurement professionals, those in the supply chain, make that sale profitable by keeping those expenses down in a proactive way. The difference between a procurement entrepreneur and a paperwork pusher is someone who simply fills orders. That's a paperwork pusher. It says, hey, I need this. They go out, they buy that, and they don't even think strategically about how to reduce those costs and reduce their risk for the long term. Where a procurement entrepreneur is going to challenge, one, what do you need exactly? Why do you need it? How much is it going to cost? Is that the best price? Then once they negotiate a contract with a vendor, they're going to hold that vendor accountable to deliver the quality at the price that they agreed upon. That's a procurement entrepreneur. It shifts procurement from a cost center to a profit center. So the CEOs who are watching this today, think about that. If you think about your procurement department as somebody, as a cost center, somebody who just reduces cost, you need to shift your mindset. You need to shift your mindset into something that this is a profit center. This is where I'm going to generate my profit, is right here in the supply chain. Yeah, my sales guys are out there generating revenue, but that's simply revenue. That revenue may or may not be profitable unless the procurement people that I have shifted their mindset as well so that they're able to generate profits for my company. So that's the big difference between procurement entrepreneurship and somebody that's simply a paperwork pusher, an order taker. That's what it's all about. Why is this important? Why is this important? Did a survey where 17% of CEOs believed their supply chain was optimized, which means generating profits for their company. Only 17%. Now, I know people that do statistics don't like to look at the other side. Well, that means 83% don't think it's optimized, meaning they're leaving money on the table. That's your opportunity. Companies who manage their supply chain are 73% more profitable than companies that don't. The research is there. If you want to look at my research, you go into supply chain analytics, you go to my website, I can get you the book. Or if you don't want to go there, just shoot me an email at info@cpsmtraining.com or put your name, your chat there in the chat room, and we'll send it out so you can get that. And the factor, the research is there. 73% of companies that manage their supply chain are more profitable than everyone else. And there's an ROI of 40%, meaning those supply chain projects, those costs have an ROI of 40%. So it's a no risk, lots of profit, lots of gain opportunity when you shift your mindset from simply pushing paper to being a proactive procurement entrepreneur. I know it's a different way. I don't want to be entrepreneur, because that's what I'm talking about next, is who are we talking to? Right now, I'm talking to the folks that know that they are not respected in their industry. They're in the back room and everyone takes them for granted. And these are the folks that want to do something different. They want to make a change, a shift in their organization, in their mindset, and create value that you could take to the private side for your own business if you so choose to do. We're going to go either way. It's going to be kind of what we call a double envelopment in the Marine Corps, where you're working one side, making things better, more valuable for your company. At the same time, you're creating an option for you just in case, for any reason, the company becomes no longer good for you. Either you decide to move on to better opportunities, or they decide to allow you to move on to better opportunities through an acquisition, merger, a drawdown, anything like that. It's always about creating two opportunities, multiple streams of income, multiple streams of opportunity. And that's what we're talking about. Those are the people we want working with us in this program. If you're happy where you are and you don't want to take any risk, and you don't want to do any extra work, then this is not for you. You can go ahead and shut off, go back to work and do what you were doing, because I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the folks that want to do something different, because we're going to take it to the next level. We're going to build things. We're going to build assets. I'm going to show you techniques. We're going to put tools in place. They're going to grow your credibility. They're going to make you more valuable in a way that allows you to have multiple opportunities with other companies, or even generating and starting your own business. So if you're in the who part, where you are that kind of person that wants to do something different and make a change, be ready for something bigger and better, stay on the line. Stay with me, because we're going to talk about how we're going to do that. But if you're somebody that's very content, very happy, doesn't want to do anything different, just wants to wait and let other people tell them what to do, then go ahead and shut down, move on, go to lunch, go do what you got to do. And we will talk to you a little bit later. So let's talk about how. What does it take to be a procurement entrepreneur? Let's pull this up. There's 5 steps. 5 steps. 5 steps that we want to talk about. The 5 steps are: have a strategy, have a marketing plan, have credibility. We're going to talk about credibility. Develop service offers, sales. How do I find prospects, develop those prospects, close those sales, and then deliver those services, and then tools. All about tools as well. Tools automate and simplify your life. They allow you to have 2 jobs. They allow you to work your day job and start to build assets that are going to allow you to leave that day job one day, but not today. Okay. Now is not the time to quit what you're doing and then go start something new. We're going to do, again, double envelopment. You're going to do things that are going to make you more valuable for your current company, but then build an option for you if you ever need to take it, or if the opportunities start to show up, you're going to have those options, things ready to go. You're going to have those things ready to go. So let's talk about business strategy. One of the first things we're going to do when you join Rfx Academy, we're going to go into extreme detail about a business plan. When you join today, first thing you're going to do, you're going to start to receive emails about business planning, all the details, and there's plenty of resources out there for that. And I'm going to talk about 2 things you need to understand today when it comes to business strategy. First and foremost, what is it you're going to offer? You may not know what that is yet, but when we go through Rfx Academy, you're going to go through a process. You're going to find out what that is, and you're going to have something you're going to offer. I'm going to say today that whatever you come up with first is not going to be what you're going to end up with when you actually start making money on your own and showing more value. It's going to develop, and you're going to listen to the market. We're going to have things in place that are going to allow you to listen to the market so that you'll find what the market needs, and you'll develop an offer for that need. Okay, that's what we're going to do when it comes to business strategy. The what? The second most important piece is why. Why do you want to do this? The why is going to make you do what it takes to get the job done. It's going to make you get up early. It's going to make you stay up late. It's going to make you do that extra work that you need to do to make a difference. That's why you have to know what's important to you. My why is my family. Absolutely 100%. No question, doubt about it. More time I can spend with my family doing the things that we want to do. That's why I do what I do. Yes, I'm up when they're sleeping. I'm working when they're playing. I'm doing the things that I have to do so that when we have an opportunity to be together, I'm available to work with them and go be with them wherever it may be in the world. That's my why. My what is offering you the opportunity to learn how to do what I've learned over the last 10 years faster. You don't have to take 10 years to do it. You can learn it over in the next 3 to 4 months and then implement it over the next few years. And hopefully when the time comes for any reason you need to grab that opportunity, it's already there. But know, again, the things we're going to do are going to make you more valuable in your current job anyway, so you may not have to worry about that. Marketing. When you develop your own business, as well as a procurement professional within a company, one of the things we don't do well is market ourselves. We don't know how to tell people our value in a way that they understand it, to see it as value, not simply as an administrative duty. When you're able to save $3.2 million on a project, that is immediate profit to a company. If somebody were to sell $3.2 million worth of stuff, that's revenue. They're going to celebrate that sale. However, as procurement professionals, when we save $3.2 million, it's immediate profit. They say, yep, thank you. That's your job. Negative, wrong. We just generated profits, and you got to tell people that. You got to show them. You got to put tools in place that don't allow you to be you're not bragging. You're just simply sharing your value. You need to market it. And the marketing process that we talk about is a very simple, we call a sales funnel. You're building stuff that people opt into to see so that they actually grow and see your value. We're going to show you that marketing strategy. One of the first things you get access to is the basics of our marketing strategy. And then we go into more detail later as we get more into the program. I'm going to give you not only what to do, how to do it, and the tools that I recommend that you use to do that. But marketing, you've got to talk about the value. Get it out there. It's a very simple process. It enables you to show your value for your company, to your company as well as to potential clients, and you're going to leverage technology so that you can do this while you sleep. Things are happening. Some of you may be receiving emails from Randy all the time. It's like, my gosh, what's going on? Things are happening automatically. I'm out doing other things. These things are happening automatically. And I'm going to show you how to do that easily, simply, so that you can have time to do both your day job, be with your family, and build this asset that you can tap into when you're ready. Credibility. These assets that we build for marketing enable you to show credibility. Credibility includes certification, absolutely, whether it's a CPSM certification, a CSCP certification, different organizations. Which certification you need depends upon the industry you're in and the one that your company appreciates. There's no reason to get a certification that nobody understands, they don't know what it is, and it doesn't help you get further in your career. So which certification you choose depends upon, again, the company you're with, which one do they respect, the industry you're in, which one do they respect, and your future goals. What certifications do you need to achieve those goals? What credibility do you need to show? So you need to have that credibility. Your degrees, bachelor's degree, master's degree, doctorate degree, or if you have no degree whatsoever, we're going to show you a way to build credibility and put it out there so people find it and they see that you are adding credibility, adding value. And by knowing you and using you, they're going to get more value for their dollar. Service offers. We're going to give you a first service offer. We're going to train you in what we call contract management. The first month, the first 30 days, your $1 trial, 30-day trial, you're going to get access to business planning, the basics of marketing. First offer, what are you going to offer? We're going to give you the skills for that offer, show you what it's all about. Contract management, you may need to know that anyway, so why not get access to it for $1? And then finally, we're going to give you access to our LinkedIn Basics course. The LinkedIn Basics course is going to show you how to use LinkedIn so that you can start to leverage the platform of social media. Why wouldn't you want to be on the platform that has millions, hundreds of millions of users all over the world to start to build your credibility and build your following? We're going to give you the tools, a strategy, how to use LinkedIn. That's how you keep your costs down. That's how you get low risk and you can figure out what people want to know. And then you can start to build offers to deliver on what they want to know. Okay, so those are the service offers. Okay, and then each month, so long as you're a member of Rfx Academy, you're going to get access to a new offer. We're going to break it down. We're going to break it down into what it is, how we're going to market it, how do you show credibility in that area, how do you sell it, and then use tools to automate the process to sell it and deliver it. Deliver those services. We have relationships in place with vendors like Vendorful who will give you the tools to get started. And then from there, you start to generate revenue to take that revenue, invest it back in your business and grow your business. Okay. So we're going to go through service offers and then ultimately sales. We're going to talk about the sales funnel that's going to generate a lead. But then what do you do? When you have a lead, what do you do with that lead? How do you talk to that lead? How do you nurture that lead? How do you get to the point to where you ask them for money and they agree? And then what do you do? Okay, then what do you do? How do you put a contract in place? How do you deliver on that contract to make sure you're delivering the results that you promised when you close that sale? We're going to talk about that process. Okay, there's a marketing process that generates a lead, and then there's a sales process once you find out the lead and you close the lead and all the tools that go with it. And there's plenty of tools out there, but there's only one program that's putting this all together for you, and that's Rfx Academy. Step by step, and it's real easy. It's a monthly access. So let me talk about that a little bit, and then get your questions ready, okay? Because then I'm going to sit down and answer all your questions, okay? Not just about the program, but also anything else you might have about Rfx Academy, as well as building your own business, and all this other good stuff. Okay, so what is Rfx Academy all about? For a 30-day trial, and then $97 a month, that's it. Because the reason I have this set up this way is very simply, if you don't do the work, you're not going to see the value and you're going to drop, and that's okay with me. I only want to work with people that get it and want to do something different. So I'm making it very easy to get in and very easy to get out. Because if you don't do the work, I want you to go anyway. Okay, so don't worry about that. $1 gets you started today. Click at the link at the top of the page or down at the bottom in the description, and $97 a month. And once you join, what's going to happen? You're going to get access to the business strategy. We're going to set up your business. You're going to get access to our marketing course. Very marketing basics, not the details, but it's going to give you the overall philosophy. We're going to give you credibility by showing you what to do on LinkedIn. We're going to show you what to do on LinkedIn. We're going to give you your very first service offer. We're going to give you a training on contract management that you can use right now on how do I manage contracts, okay? And then every month after that, you're going to get a new service offer. We're going to break it down into the strategy, the marketing for it, building credibility for that offer, showing that offer, and then delivering on that offer, and then closing the sales. We're going to talk about the sales process. When I get a lead, questions I ask to understand exactly what we're going to sell and then deliver and how we're going to deliver on that. And then we got something very, very special coming up in the spring of 2020 that if you don't go through this program, you don't get to play with me in 2020. And I can tell you it's going to be exciting. It's going to be something absolutely different. Nobody's doing it right now. And I don't think they're going to do it between now and then, but it's going to be a lot of fun. But if you don't do Rfx Academy, you are not going to be able to participate in January. And that's why I need you to join now, get things started. Very easy to get started. And then in January, you're going to be in position to be part of this new movement we're going to have when it comes to procurement services and offering those procurement services to everyone that we're having. Now, as a bonus, an opportunity for you is get Rfx Academy and CPSM certification training. So if you're not familiar with supply management, you're like, what's this procurement entrepreneurship all about? CPSM gives you the skills to understand supply management. If you're a procurement professional and you need the certification to get that credibility, this is what you're going to get. Okay, you're going to get that certification training. You're going to get continuing education hours. Maybe you are already certified. You need continuing ed. You're going to get over 40 hours in our online platform. And then you're going to get CPSD, Certified Professional Supplier Diversity. That's also part of our program. So if you are already certified and you need continuing education hours, this is a good deal for you. If you need an additional certification, this is also a good deal for you. So you're just going to add $997. And then after that, it'll be $97 a month. And then you'll be part of Rfx Academy. Or if you know you don't need any of that, you just want to get an Rfx Academy, give it a shot, see what it's all about. Just click the Rfx Academy link, $1, and then it'll be $97 per month after that. Okay. So that's what it's taken. And that's where we're going with procurement entrepreneurship. And entrepreneurship is not just starting a business from scratch and building it all out. Entrepreneurship is finding a need and filling that need for value. And what I'm going to teach you is how to get that value. Okay. So right now, what I need to do is go ahead and get your questions ready. If you see the link at the top, go ahead and click that. It'll take you where it needs to go. I'll take these down. And then I'm going to sit down and answer your questions. Any questions that you might have, go ahead and type those in the chat. And we'll bring that down here. Right here. A little bit more so you guys can see me. You know I'm wearing pants, right? All right. So what do we got here? Anybody have any questions? Go ahead and type your questions. Your questions here. And I will answer those questions. All right. So it's okay. That's all right. Some of the questions you might have out there, let me go ahead and show you the Rfx Academy site. I'm going to do my screen share. Let's see, desktop share. Here we go. Opening my browser. All right. So this is what I want you guys to be able to see. Okay, so this is where you go to register. Just click this link here. All right, I'll go ahead and put that in the chat box. Make sure you can see it. All right. Question: if I'm marketing on LinkedIn, and that means I have to quit my current job? I hope not. Okay, well, that's kind of why. That's a great question. If I'm marketing on LinkedIn and my employer sees it, will I have to quit my job or will my employer fire me? There's a concept out there called thought leadership. And what we're going to do is show you how to build thought leadership, how to do that. And that's where you write papers about, let's say, contract management, and you write a paper, just a quick blog about it. And I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it right here, right now. Say contract management. And when you do contract management, you constantly get 3 questions. Every single time you get the same 3 questions when it comes down to contract management. What you'll do is you'll write those 3 questions down. You'll pull out your handy dandy recording device here, record yourself. Well, record yourself answering those 3 questions, and then you post that on the internet. You can post it on the internet, the video, the recording, take the recording, turn it into a transcript, then it becomes an article that you can post out there. Now, when you post that on LinkedIn, okay, you post that on LinkedIn, what ends up happening is you show thought leadership. So even if your employer sees it, okay, let me come back over here. Even if your employer sees it, that shows you're an expert, you know what you're talking about, and they see you as more valuable to their company. Because you kind of see how we're starting to do what we call double envelopment. So you build this credibility on LinkedIn, shows thought leadership. It shows that you're not sitting in the back room, that you're trying to get to the boardroom and getting it out there and showing people your expertise. Okay. And how long would it take you to answer those top 3 questions? Maybe 15, 20 minutes on a recording. And then you do some things with technology, and next thing you have an article. It's all done. So in less than an hour, you have an articulated credibility piece that you put on LinkedIn. And again, when you join, you get LinkedIn. Basically shows you how to do all this on LinkedIn. Shows thought leadership. Your boss likes it. Hey, she's taking an action. He's taking action. He's doing something different. He's getting out there. He's becoming an expert. I want to keep him. I'm going to keep him in this role. I'm going to see what else he can do. He's showing leadership. He's showing something different. At the same time, other clients are going to see it. Other employers might see it. So it's going to create other opportunities. So it's kind of a double envelopment. If your employer fires you for doing something different, taking an initiative, taking leadership, and showing thought leadership, it's not a company you want to work for anyway. I'm just going to say that right now. The companies you want to work for are the ones that appreciate procurement, supply chain management. And if you do the things that are involved in Rfx Academy, you will be a thought leader and you will get more opportunities. You will get those opportunities because you're doing something different. Everyone else is sitting back just processing orders. Don't bother me. Don't talk to me. It's 5 o'clock. Dang, I'm going home, out the door. Meanwhile, you go home, you create an article, takes you an hour, you put it out there, you get more opportunities. Again, it goes back to the who. Who wants to be involved in this program? If you want to do something different, take a chance and build something. This is for you. If you're happy sitting in the office, doing exactly what you're told and not worrying about that, then this is not for you. That's okay. That's okay. It's not a problem. Okay. Very good. All right. Let's go back to my screen share. Let me see how to do this thing. Screen share. All right. Desktop sharing. I want to show you guys a couple of things. Okay. I guess you guys can see it. All right. Here we go. So this is where you go in to look at the 5 steps for being a procurement entrepreneur. If you just want the Rfx Academy for $1, just click here. I'll take you through the process. If you want both the Rfx Academy and CPSM training, let me go ahead and click those for you so you can see them. All right. So just come right here. Let's go ahead and click on that. All right. There's some, hopefully the video shows up. See, I do the things I'm going to tell you to do. Don't worry about it. All right. So just fill out this information. Click here. Don't worry. It does take a credit card. And it'll be for $1.
Procurement services to deliver for
Cha-ching. All right, good. Okay, so just complete the order. It'll be $1 for 30 days. At the end of 30 days, it's going to charge your credit card $97. If by the end of 30 days, you're at 28, 29 days, you're like, hey, this isn't for me. I don't really want to do this. You just cancel it. You're out. You don't have to worry about it. Now, if you're looking for both the Rfx Academy and the CPSM certification training, just click the other button. It's going to give you both. And what that is you look at this right here. Again, you scroll down, put in your name information. Okay, you get both the CPSM online training, and then it'll be $97 a month. Very simple. There's also an option in here for you to get everything else, which is our 3-day boot camp, the CPSM learning system from ISM, which if you were to buy that on your own is going to be $1,100. So we include that here. You just click this button. It'll add $997 to that. You'll get the CPSM learning system. You'll get to attend our boot camp, which is $2,500 in itself when you come to that event, which the next one is in Orlando at the beginning of October. So if that's something you're interested, this is a great deal. You get all in. It's going to really help you out getting started on the right foot. Plus, I'll be talking about a lot of this stuff while we're doing that boot camp as well. So you get access to me, and all the questions I don't answer, you will be able to ask me then. All right. So that's why I wanted to share that with you. I also want to share with you Rfx Academy itself, where if you don't use the page I just shared with you, you won't see these other offers. Okay. You won't see these other offers. And it just goes through the entire program. It goes through and it outlines it. All right, here we go. Goes through, gives you some other things. All right, so you can just go through that, scroll through that, see the details. When you're ready to go ahead and click, just click through. There's other questions that I've answered. We put this together for you. Now, the other thing that I want to share with you is the online portal. What's it going to look like? So once you get access, you're going to get right into it and immediate access to everything that you see here. Start your own business, which is not only it's an email course that comes in your email. There's also lessons here. It starts to give you the what do I have to do to start a business? Organization. I'm not an attorney. I recommend that you see an attorney to set up your business depending upon where you are in the world, as well as I'm not an accountant. Talk to an accountant about how to set up your books, track your expenses, and the things that are legal to track those expenses and those other things. But we take you through a process to do that. And then we're going to sit down first week, which will be the first week in September. We're going to go through and actually talk about a business plan and get into the nitty-gritty details and the things that you need to look out for in your business plan. Now, the reason we want to do a business plan is because it creates goals. It also forces us to write down those goals. And when we write down those goals, studies show again and again and again, people who write down their goals achieve those goals. Okay, so if you're not willing to take an hour to create a business plan for your success, this program's not for you. Very simple. And you're saying, well, Randy, I'm going to continue working. I'm going to be the VP of supply chain management, eventually CEO of my company. Really? Great. Did you write it down? Do you know what you're going to do? This business plan is going to force you to do that thinking and write this stuff down. Okay. It's going to make you do that thinking. What does it take to be a VP of supply chain management in a company? What does it take? What skills do I need to have? What experiences do I need to have? These are all the same things you should be doing to start your own business. It's when we shift, we're a career CEO. I am the CEO of me. And the whole economy is going that way. The loyalty to companies is long gone. So you have to be the CEO of yourself in order to be successful, no matter whether you choose to start your own company or you're going to work for a company. You have to be the CEO of yourself and run yourself like a business. And everything you invest in should show some type of ROI, everything you do. Okay. The other thing is marketing basics. So when you go through, we talk about our basic marketing philosophy that we use when we're building everything I talked about earlier. We're building these credibility places. We're creating these service offers. How do I put it together? How do I put it out there on the market? Where do I find information to know all these things? So we're going to put all that together. We're going to talk about that in marketing basics. Your LinkedIn basics. How do I get set up on LinkedIn correctly? Do the right things correctly. If I'm going to write an article, where do I post it? Once I post that article, how do I promote it so people actually read it? That talks about here in LinkedIn basics. And as I mentioned before, contract management is the first service offer we're going to talk about in detail within the first 30 days that you join. So by the end of October, you're going to have access to this contract management. That's going to give you the nitty gritty of doing contract management. And then we're going to talk about how to market it, how to offer it. And special surprise is you're going to have a tool. You're going to have access to a tool with Vendorful on how to manage contracts, which is going to be the first thing you're going to do when you offer and look for clients. Hey, can I manage your contracts? What do you mean? What do you mean? We're going to talk about how do you set that up? How do you offer that service? How do you use a tool to do that? And we're going to give you the means to actually execute that service without costing you anything but investing in this program. Okay. So that's what you're going to get access to when you start today. You just go for $1, get access. You're going to get immediate access to this. We're going to get you all set up for the next 30 days. We're going to give a lot of other information, a lot of other training. And at the end of 30 days, when you're ready to move forward, we're going to give you another service offer. We're going to give you another tool. We're going to give you all these things so that it's only up to you. You're going to have the means to make a difference and make a change. All right. All right. That's good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Let's go back here. Let's go ahead. Nope. Don't put that. Stop sharing. All right. Now, does anyone have any other questions? Here we go. Great. I love it. I love questions. Let's scroll up the questions. All right. Talked about my employers. Okay, next question. My company is a leading real estate company. Procurement is a core competence we deliver directly to the banking client. We act as consultants. However, we are not compensated for millions of savings. What is the percentage we can ask for as consultants? Great questions. One of the business models that you can offer is that because it's what we call found money. This is money they would not have had otherwise unless you found it. So I've heard as high as 50% of the cost savings. I've heard as high as 50% or 10%. If you're talking millions of dollars, then 10% might be a better number to ask for. But you're going to have to negotiate that. You're going to have to show that. You're going to have to be able to do it where other people can't do it. But that's one of the business models that we're going to talk about when you're setting up your business, is this model of offer your services. You get paid nothing unless you save money. The benefit is when you're talking millions of dollars, there could be a high payoff, and you do it one time. The caveat or the bonus is you do that one time, the company's not going to pay you millions and millions of dollars every single time. Instead, once you do that one service offer and you show them that cost savings, then you put in place services that consistently generate those savings again and again and again. And that's how you build residual income, monthly income, so you don't have to go after 5, 6, 7, 20, 30, 50 clients. You can have very select clients, but you have to set up those service office. You got to get the one deal done. And then how do you continue to build those things out? Okay. So that's a very, very good question. So what is an actual percentage? That's part of the negotiations. I've heard as high as 50%. People have done that on millions of dollars and they get a huge payday, but the company's like, ugh. But you got to position it. You got to give them expectation management. This is money you would not have had otherwise. And I only want half of it. You get the other half to go do other things with. Okay. So that's something. Okay. Next question. What is the average ROI your students are seeing from taking this course? As I mentioned earlier, this is something new. This is something we are starting. What we're doing is starting to build this following and build this out so people can get started. So the ROI hasn't been measured yet. I'm just being up front and blunt with you about that. As we get more students involved, then we're going to start to measure those results and get that out there. So if you're interested in being part of this groundbreaking class, come on in. We want to have you. If you're not sure yet, that's okay. You can join us in the spring when we'll start this iteration again to allow more people into the program. Either way, okay, so that's up to you. So just being upfront with you, what is the ROI? It's only $97 a month. It's $1 today. So if you make $2, you've got 100% ROI. If you put in $97, you stay with a second month and you get a raise that introduces thousands of dollars, then you can calculate the ROI there. Okay, again, we're making it very easy to get in and it's very easy to get out. Either way you want to go, it's up to you. All right, very good question. What are the industries that would give the best ROI? I don't know yet. That's going to be part of how do we find those clients? And that's going to be based on your network. Who do you know and where are they? And how do you communicate with them? And how do you offer them services? You don't want to be, say, in the hospital industry, medical care, and then try to sell things in the oil industry. Your credibility is not there. Okay. So you're going to have to think about what industry are you in and where do you want to target? You may want to go for the oil and gas industry, but I can tell you the oil and gas industry is very specific. People know who they are. They know if you know what you're talking about, and they don't give away their money, even though there's a lot of money there. So you have to have the credibility. So what industry are you best known in? Do you have the most experience in? And then how do we create a service offer so that you can generate revenue from that industry? So it's a great question. Where do I make the most money? What industry should I focus on? We're going to start with what do you know now? And then we're going to build that out. Okay. What do you know now? What industries are you involved with now? What vendors do you manage best now? And then how do I offer that to a client to generate money for myself? Either through a cost savings process, a monthly fee, a consulting fee, all those different things. Okay. So it's a great question. What industry? But if you don't want to do industry, it's not really the industry at this point that you want to answer that question. You got to start somewhere, start with what you know. And then based on what you know, then grow from there. You may start with what you know, start making some money, and then see there's a very lucrative industry over here. But then you have to develop expertise in there. You got to develop credibility in that industry before people will know you. And you can know nothing about that industry and build credibility. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay. So just where are you today? What do I know today? What are my expertise today? And then based on that, that's what we're going to build out from there. Great, great question. Where did you get your doctorate? I got my doctorate from Argosy University. It's a great story. I was in the Marine Corps and I'd finished up my master's, had about another year before I was going back to the fleet where I go into operations. So I started a degree at Argosy University at Sarasota. And I did that, finished it up, and I actually finished my doctorate on a warship deploying to the Middle East. I went and did we call block leave before you actually deploy. I went and defended my dissertation. Once I defended my dissertation, they still had some changes, so I finished that up on a ship, 10 days going across the sea, sent that in via email, and then I was good to go. And that was in 2007. So that's where I got my doctorate from. Great questions. I love it. Do you have any students that have successfully completed the course as references? No, I don't. And that's because we're starting something new. We're starting something new. Again, easy to get in, easy to get out. If you're not sure about this and you're trying to put it all together, that's not what entrepreneurs do. Entrepreneurs see a need, they fill a need, and they go for it. The one thing, everyone here who's listening, the one thing you have to do today is make a decision and take action on that decision. Your decision may be, I'm not sure yet. I don't want to be involved yet. I'll wait until it's proven out. And that's fine. That's a decision. Another decision is, I like this. I want to do something different. I want to get in to figure something out for my career and for my family. I'm going to take action. So I'm going to spend $1 today to learn what this program's about and see how it is for 30 days. And then if I like it, I'll stay for $97 a month, or I'll drop and it won't cost you another dime. So for $1, you really can't beat it. So we're building something new. We're starting something new. We're starting something new, and it's going to pay off in January. And you'll see this. We're going to have something really cool. I'm just going to keep it in undercover right now. Okay. So hope that's answers your questions. Maybe not the question you're looking for right now, because I know some of us in the procurement field, we like numbers, we like analytics, we like to prove things out. We're not there yet. And I can also offer that there's nobody else out there doing this either. So they're all talking about certification and investing lots of dollars to grow your career, but nobody tells you how to use that certification to grow your career. What do you do with that certification once you have it? You spent thousands of dollars and thousands of hours or hundreds of hours studying, preparing for it. Now you have a certification. Then what? Then what? How does that lead to a higher position? How does that lead to a higher salary? If you took that certification and thought it was going to do something for you and you haven't done anything different, then you wasted your time, you wasted your money, it didn't work. You have to get a certification, take that, turn it into credibility, start to be a thought leader to show value within your company and outside your company, because that also makes you valuable. If your company knows you're never going to leave, why would they ever give you a raise? However, if you're out there thinking, you're out there talking, you're out there doing things, and you're receiving offers from other companies like, hey, I like what you do with contract management. I want you to work for me. I'm going to make you an offer. Now you can take that offer back to your company and say, listen, I've got opportunities in other places. Okay. So you got to think that's where we're going with this. We're taking something different. We're doing something different. And if you're ready for it, join us. If you're not ready for it, you're still not sure, that's okay. There'll still be information out there. You're just not going to get access to the cool stuff or me as often as you would like, or if you join the program, we're going to have a lot of fun. All right. Very good. Okay. Any other questions? Great questions. I love it. Any other questions about anything? Awesome. Well, I really appreciate your spending time today with me during my lunch hour, and maybe lunch for you, and maybe breakfast, and maybe somewhere in between. But hopefully I've inspired you to start thinking differently about being a procurement professional and to shift your thought process to being a procurement entrepreneur, where you start to take procurement out of the back room and into the boardroom to show value by delivering profits to your company. We hope that you join us in Rfx Academy. If you need a certification, there's an opportunity for you there. If you don't, spend $1 today. Learn more about what Rfx Academy is and how it can help you and make a difference today. Hope that's it. If you have any other questions, I'll see you on LinkedIn. Connect with me on LinkedIn. Shoot me a message. I'll be happy to answer your questions there. And you can start to see how I use LinkedIn day in and day out to promote myself and to show my thought leadership out there. And you can start to model that as well. And when you join Rfx Academy, you get access to the actual LinkedIn basics, which is going to show you the basics course. With that, have a wonderful day. I look forward to seeing you, if not in Rfx Academy or not at one of our CPSM certification boot camps. I look forward to seeing you out there at a conference or something else so that I can help you become a procurement entrepreneur for your company. With that, have a wonderful day. Stay dry, and we'll see you soon.